Merrill, members of the Merrill family and extended family, and other honored guests. It's a pleasure to be present today for the special occasion. Special not only for Judge Merrill and his wife Sarah and their beautiful children, his mom and his extended family, but special for all of us who have gathered and the many communities that comprise the Western District of Kentucky. When a lawyer is tapped to serve our country as a member of the federal courts, the nomination is, of course, as we all know, an extraordinary honor. Some would say the greatest honor that can be bestowed on a lawyer, no matter if that lawyer has made a name for herself in private practice, spent years working for a local or state or federal government, established himself as a scholar in a law school academia, dedicated himself to the cause of the marginalized by working as a justice warrior on the front lines at a nonprofit, or even perhaps working in corporate America. Yet even more importantly, when a lawyer is called upon to become a member of the federal bench, it is a selfless act of service that often we in civil society may not realize to its fullest extent. It is a decision that is not made lightly, even though the honor looms large. And I suggest to you, it is a decision that is deeply rooted and at the very heart of why someone becomes a lawyer in the first instance, and why most who cross the threshold of a law school commit to dedicate themselves to the greater good, and not only to making an investment in learning so that they can make a livelihood. That sense of duty that many, if not most, embrace early on as they nestle into a career in the law is best expressed in the preamble of the American Bar Association's Model Rules of Professional Conduct, which forms the basis of the code of ethics for all lawyers in our country. And I quote, "As a public citizen, a lawyer should seek improvement of the law, access to the legal system, the administration of justice, and the quality of services rendered by the legal profession. As a member of a learned profession, a lawyer should cultivate knowledge of the law beyond its use for clients, employ that knowledge in reform of the law, and to work to strengthen legal education. In addition, a lawyer should further the public's understanding of and confidence in the rule of law and the justice system. Because legal institutions in a constitutional democracy depend upon popular participation and support to maintain their authority. As a member of the bankruptcy bench these last 18 months, Judge Merrill no doubt has strived for the goals of and observed the value of society, the value to society of equal access to justice, adequate legal services, and fairness for all litigants in each and every proceeding. And thus it should be no surprise as we sit witness today to Judge Merrill's ceremonial oath of office, confirming his earlier oath taken, that the preamble of the ABA Model Judicial Code builds upon the notions of duty to the greater good of a lawyer as a public citizen, to further the public's confidence in the rule of law and the justice system. And I quote from that code, "Our legal system is based upon the principle that an independent, fair, and competent judiciary will interpret and apply the laws that govern us. The role of the judiciary is central to American concepts of justice and the rule of law. Judges, individually and collectively, must respect and honor the judicial office as a public trust and strive to enhance and maintain confidence in our legal system. The judge is the arbiter of facts and law for the resolution of disputes, and a judge is a highly visible symbol of government under the rule of law. Thus, lawyers and judges are guardians of this sacred public trust in the courts. They are protectors of the concepts of justice and the rule of law. And ultimately, they are defenders of our democracy. And it takes every judge in every matter, whether civil or criminal or administrative, at every level, the Supreme Court of the United States, the federal appellate district and bankruptcy courts, administrative courts, military tribunals, tribal courts in all states, the municipal courts where many Americans first encounter our nation's justice system, to stand sentry for the rule of law. Judge Merrill is not without an abundance of examples among the many fine jurors who have served before him of what fulfillment of his duties takes. In a different context, for federal Article III judges, the American Bar Association's extraordinary work through its Standing Committee on the Federal Judiciary has for close to 7 decades held high the standards which many call the gold standard, the standards of professional competence, integrity, and judicial temperament. In service on our nation's bankruptcy court requires nothing less. Those of you who know Judge Merrill, whether from when he was a young man, or as a colleague, or now on the bench, through his years of service to our government, those of you who have now appeared before him, and those of you who work with him every and each day, have a sense of why Judge Merrill was selected out of what I know and I'm certain were many qualified candidates. He stands apart in his competence and command of the law, his integrity, and his judicial temperament, those professional qualities that are essential to service on our nation's bench. And what you also have witnessed is that he treats everyone with respect, no matter their burdens, their challenges, or station. Whether what has struck you about him is that he is a good listener, or that he is a person who exhibits compassion. Whether you have noticed his character or his humility, whether you have witnessed his extra care to be fair or his diligence in assuring that proceedings are unbiased, you know, we know, that he will and is already making a substantial contribution to civil society through his service on the bankruptcy bench. An independent judiciary is the bulwark of our democracy. It assures adherence to the rule of law. Our nation's ship may list on occasion, but I have faith that it will never be upended as long as our justice system stays strong. Today we celebrate our justice system's renewed strength and renewed steady as Judge Merrill joins the ranks officially of the many dedicated jurists and lawyer servants, all public citizens who love our country so much that they dedicate their lives and their careers in service. May every community across this country be so fortunate as to have their own Judge Merrill, no matter when or where the next lawyer is called to serve. Congratulations to you, Judge Merrill, and God bless this court. Thank you.